Ladies and gentlemen, there will not be a Saturday night vlog this weekend. I hope that doesn't disappoint anyone, but I did stress previously in several videos actually that Saturday night vlog would not be every single weekend just because the amount of time that goes into producing that. So I still wanted to give you some Funko news this week just because there have been so many announcements and so many updates to previous announcements as well. Do bear in mind that I am recording this as of August 6, 2016, so some of the news that I'm about to share will quickly become old news. So again, just bear that in mind. Now, very recently, there was a release, a BAM exclusive or a Books A Million exclusive, a patina painted Wonder Woman. So that's really nothing new, but something that is maybe unexpected for some people if you hadn't heard about this already. They have a sepia tone Wonder Woman. She doesn't seem to be a store exclusive. There's not a sticker on this particular box here that I found the image for. So I really don't know for sure if she's going to be a store exclusive or not. But she's going to be available in just a couple of days as of me recording this, August 9th, 2016. So if you're interested, just be on the lookout for her. More than likely, this sepia tone version is probably to capitalize on the hype behind the upcoming Wonder Woman solo movie. The trailer was released. It got a lot of good feedback. So, yeah, I'm not surprised to see another version of the Wonder Woman figure released. She still doesn't have a shield. I'm still disappointed in that. I thought at some point they would put out Wonder Woman with the shield, but maybe we'll see that when her solo movie actually does come out. Next up here for you Fallout fans, they have some Vaultboy Hot Topic mystery boxes. Yes, unfortunately they are mystery boxes coming out on August 11th. That should be Thursday. I'm kind of surprised that they're doing this mystery box style, but then again, I don't really know how large Fallout's audience is, with the game franchise. Apparently it's pretty popular though, because I do see a lot of Fallout merchandise. So they have these three figures that you see pictured here, which will be the commons, and then they also do have a chase figure which is glow in the dark. And to be specific, okay, first of all, it's a 1 in 10 chance of finding this figure, and as far as the glow in the dark is concerned, it's just the skeleton print that you see on his clothing. That's what actually glows. Now, 1 in 10 chance, that doesn't sound quite so bad. I mean, I know that some of the other chase figures have been much more difficult to find than that, but I did watch Hot Topic's Periscope video, and they had some boxes directly from the factory, and the woman that was unboxing did not find a chase figure. So yeah, let's take that 1 in 10 sort of with a grain of salt there. We'll see what happens there. But as far as the medic is concerned, the second figure that you see here, I think that he has a good chance of being the next Stingray. And what I mean by that is it seems that he's possibly more produced than the other figures, because again, within the Periscope video, as she was doing the unboxing, she found a lot more medics than the other figures. It was like medic after medic after medic. I mean, if she was ill, she would have been healed in no time. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you are interested in these Vaultboy figures, that you may end up with more medics than you really need, and you may have to try to trade them off. Next up here, if you're a fan of Amy Winehouse or Lemmy from Motorhead, then you'll be interested in these Funko Rocks figures. Me personally, I don't really know these artists that well. Amy Winehouse, I don't know if I ever really listened to any of her solo music. I know she did a collaboration with Ghostface Killah from Wu-Tang Clan, so I definitely heard that song and I did like that song. And then Lemmy from Motorhead, basically all I know is Ace of Spades. I think a lot of people know that song. They may not even realize that they know that song, but they probably heard it before. I'm most familiar with that song because it was used in DJ Hero, and I honestly can't remember if it was the first or second one, but I know it was a song that was used within DJ Hero. So again, if you're interested in these figures, just be on the lookout. No particular dates for these figures that I know of. Continuing on here, I know some people may be rolling their eyes, but let's just think about this from a business standpoint. I think it's a pretty smart move for Funko to do Pop Pets. And you see that they're starting off here. They have these 6 dogs here: Beagle, Labrador Retriever, French Bulldog, Dachshund, German Shepherd, and Siberian Husky. Now, I think an even smarter business move would be to go ahead and make these flocked. I don't see any reason why they should put these out now and then later on possibly do some flocked versions. Just go ahead and make these flocked from the beginning because it just makes sense to me. You know, Cameron within the Funko video, he actually brought up that, saying that maybe they will do flocked eventually, and or at least he said that he would like to see them do flocked eventually. But to me, it just makes sense to go ahead and do that from the start instead of trying to milk the money out by doing some flocked versions later on. On a personal note, I probably would pick up the German Shepherd just because it does look similar to my dog, Radcliffe. And you know, there are a lot of people that love their pets, so if this, you know, any of these figures remind them of their pets, they'll probably pick them up. Or if they just are a pet lover, they'll probably pick these up. Now, I'm going to consider this part of the Pop Pets line. I don't know if they necessarily do, but they do have a Target exclusive, the Bullseye dog, their mascot. I probably would pick this one up. I think it's cute enough, even though it's always bothered me a little bit with this mascot to see a bullseye, you know, a target over a dog's eye. It kind of gives off the wrong impression there, but I mean, you know, it's still cute though, cute enough. Again, obviously, since it is Target's mascot, that'd be a Target exclusive. Cat lovers, do not feel left out in the cold. Don't worry, don't flip out. Okay, they are doing cats as well, but they're only starting off with 3 of them. And do remember, this is just the start of the Pop Pets line. There will be more. Okay, but they are starting off with the Calico, Siamese, and then the Maine Coon, which I don't think I've ever heard that name before, but when I saw the picture, I looked at the picture of an actual cat that is that breed, and they're pretty common. So yeah, I'm sure I've seen hundreds throughout my lifetime. I just didn't realize that was the name of the breed. So again, you cat lovers, they have something for you as well. Moving on here, another big upcoming movie, Doctor Strange, and obviously, you know, they're going ahead and capitalizing on this movie, you know, upcoming, and this movie will be here before we know it, actually, because it does have a November release. So yeah, it's about time for the figures to start dropping. The Doctor Strange here, this is the common, of course. I actually think the SDCC exclusive, I don't know, it seems like it might look cooler, but I'd have to see them in person to really compare them. Then you have Carl Mordo. I think comic book fans are probably more used to calling him Baron Mordo. It's the same character though. Then they have the Ancient One, and I'm not even going to try to say this name. I know Mads Mikkelsen is playing the villain in the movie, so however you pronounce that particular name, they have these 4 pops here together. And these are all commons once again. They also have Dwarfs here. I do notice here that they don't have a Dwarves of the Ancient One. Instead, they have who I believe is another one of the villains. I'm definitely going to assume that she's a villain because she looks very similar. She has that awkward look around the eyes and everything, and that weird thing on her forehead. You know, she just looks very similar to the main villain. So I did notice that one little trade out there of the characters. Now on to Doctor Strange exclusives. First of all, they have, I guess, what is called like the astral plane Doctor Strange. I think that's what they're referring to him as. Anybody that knows the Doctor Strange comics better, maybe you could explain that a little bit better. But I think it looks pretty awesome. It's basically like the crystal type paint job, sort of like the Crystal Heisenberg, except he's yellow instead there. And that is a Target exclusive. That's definitely one I'll be on the lookout for. Then they have a Walmart exclusive. I know some people are not happy to hear that because Walmart exclusives can be very elusive. That one, I would probably wait and see. I would basically feel more comfortable getting that one if it turns out that I am a big fan of the movie. I don't think there's anything too exciting about the figure itself. So again, it would really depend, for me personally, on how much I enjoy the movie. The 4 common figures, the pop figures, they do have a 4-pack of them. And I know the sticker is way too small for you to see here, but they are a Disney store exclusive. And of course, putting them in that one box together, that's going to up the value in the long run. But again, it's a Disney Store exclusive, so just don't be surprised if that one is kind of difficult to get your hands on if you're not near a Disney Store and you have to go online. I really don't know what that's going to be like. I've never dealt with Disney stores myself. And then they do have an exclusive Dwarfs. This one, though, again, it's like that astral plane Doctor Strange. And this one is a GameStop exclusive, so it actually should be pretty easy to get your hands on. That tends to be the case with GameStop exclusives. You know, GameStops are everywhere. You can find a GameStop almost as easy as you can find a McDonald's nowadays. Again, moving here, the specialty series. If you're not up on the specialty series, just keep in mind what it says here. Check with your local comic shop. The specialty series, these are figures that are specifically going to specialty shops. That's why it's called the specialty series. So that would include comic shops. So the most recent ones that have been announced are Max Rebo, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected him to come inside of one of the trying to remember the name of it, one of the Funko boxes, the Star Wars box, Bounty something. I actually don't get that box. Not the hugest Star Wars fan, but I know a lot of people, Smuggler's Bounty I think is the name of it. I think a lot of people expected Max Rebo to come in the last Smuggler's Bounty box, and it didn't happen. So he is part of the specialty series. That does kind of surprise me. And then they do have a Nightmare Before Christmas Dwarfs figure, which is part of the specialty series as well. It's a little, like, I'm not personally interested in either one of these, but even the previous ones that they've announced, it's kind of tough to be excited about them because there are still no specific release dates. And in case you're not familiar with the other ones that have been announced, they have the Golden Age Batman. And I actually did look this up. The coloring there, I thought it was a little awkward, but it actually is true. The Golden Age Batman did have a costume that looked like that. And then they have Jay Garrick as the original Flash Dwarfs as well. And then the very first specialty series announcement that they made, it was a Cosmo Pop. Cosmo the astronaut, basically here from the Guardians of the Galaxy series, because he was briefly featured in that movie. And then Howard the Duck also briefly featured in the movie in the after credit scene. They do have a Dwarfs of him now, and they already had the Pop that's been out. So again, these specialty series figures, I don't think any of them have actually been released yet, so I'm really not sure what's going on with them as far as release dates are concerned. But like I said, just if you're interested, check with your local comic shop and see if they know anything about it, if they can do a pre-order for you. Next up here, I may have mentioned this one before in the last time I did Funko News, but just as a reminder, JD Phoenix, the upcoming main protagonist in the next Gears of War game. He is the son of Marcus Phoenix, who was the main protagonist in the previous games. He will be a Best Buy glow in the dark exclusive, and as far as I know, the only thing that actually glows on him is actually like the blood splatter from the locust that's on him, the locust or whichever new enemies they have within the game. Again, this is a Best Buy exclusive. I'm not sure if they've had Funko Pop Best Buy exclusives before. You know, somebody could let me know about that. I know they've had like game exclusives as far as DLC and things like that, but I'm really not familiar with their history in terms of Funko Pops. I know that I've barely ever seen Funko Pops in a Best Buy. And by the way, one quick reminder, there is a common JD Phoenix as well. This is just an exclusive version. Now, I was recently just defending Funko as far as doing some repaints because I think it's good to have variety and you don't have to buy all of them. Just buy what you want. But I'll be honest, when I saw this one here, the Zebra and Bullseye Batman 2-pack, which is going to be a Hot Topic exclusive, it was very tough to fight that urge to kind of roll my eyes because, yeah, these are a bit ridiculous. And they actually do both. They do come from the comics. These aren't just completely made up. They both are comic book references. But at the same time, the Zebra Batman especially just is a very weird choice to me. The Bullseye one is okay. But yeah, I guess you would have to be like a really die-hard Batman fan to be interested in these. I don't know if they're going to be popular, if they're going to hold much value. Who knows? But if you're a Batman fan, yeah, you got some more repaints on the way. I'm happy with the Imposters. I already had the first one, the Riddler, and I know that the Poison Ivy one is available as well. So I will get some Imposters, but yeah, with the Batman, I really feel for anybody that's trying to collect them all, because there is a ridiculous amount of Batmans at this point. Again, no specific release date on these. Just be on the lookout if you are interested in this, very interesting 2-pack. Here are some pops that I've mentioned in previous Funko News updates, and basically throughout the Saturday Night Vlogs. I've talked about some of these, so they're starting to show up. Mega Man himself, I think some people actually already had their hands on. I'm not sure about any of the other characters. The Clark Kent, revealing himself to be Superman, has started to show up in some Hot Topics, and I think some people may have jumped the gun there, but they are starting to show up. And then we knew that this was going to happen, that Street Fighter figures would make their way to America. I don't think they have so officially yet, but there are some people starting to get their hands on Ryu, or Ryu, however you want to pronounce it. I know a lot of Americans say Ryu. I think Ryu is more appropriate, or the more proper way to say his name. But again, if you're really interested in these, they are starting to show up. So again, just keep your eyes open. Now, some other possible future releases, and I'm saying possible here because I have not seen any actual images. So these are just possibilities for the near future. And I did pick and choose. I didn't list every single thing that I found online here. Just some that I felt that kind of stand out. The Last of Us, I'm a big fan of that game. It's definitely one of my favorite PS4 games. One of my favorite games in general in the past couple years. Okay, so there's supposed to be some Last of Us figures, and I probably would be interested in those. Twisted Metal does have some great character design, so I wouldn't be surprised if those do become pop figures. Same thing with Resident Evil. I could definitely see that happening. Cheech and Chong, that be cool for some people. Archer, I am a fan of Archer. I do like that TV series. As pop figures, I don't know. I think there's a chance of them looking kind of plain Jane, but we'll see. Bill and Ted, I'm actually surprised Bill and Ted hasn't been done already. Another possibility there. Then they have White Lantern, Batgirl. I can definitely see that happening because they're starting to use the Batgirl mold. Not as much as Batman, but they're definitely starting to use it more and more. Animaniacs, I think I would actually like to see that. That'd be pretty cool. Definitely a fan of Animaniacs. And then Twilight. Okay, as long as they don't flood stores with Twilight and it becomes like the next Frozen, pop line, then it's whatever. I know they're fans of that series, so it's only right that they had the option to get some Twilight pops. But like I said, I just hope they don't flood the stores and take up a whole bunch of shelf space. So you all can let me know in the comments, what are you looking forward to? Out of the figures I just shared, what are you looking forward to the most? If there are any other upcoming figures that you heard about, let people know down in the comments. Let's help each other out. This is a community thing, community effort. There are plenty of pops for everybody, so we don't really have to be competitive against each other. Let's just help each other out. So like I said, if you've heard about any other upcoming releases, just drop a word down in the comments. And again, let me know, what are you looking forward to the most? Me, on a personal level, the ones I just shared, I think the specialty series one, some of them I may pick up, but for the most part, really, I think I mainly did this video for you all. There's not a whole lot here I'm really personally invested in. I think Last of Us would be cool, but really I mainly did this for you all to kind of give you all a heads up. So again, just let me know what you're looking forward to the most, and thank you for taking the time to check this out.